Fortnite Season 4 is a boring, frustrating, overhyped mess of a season. I want to emphasize I respond to all comments, so let's start a conversation about this. And there will be a Battle Pass giveaway at the end of this video. So let's begin with the biggest issue of this season, being the guns themselves. This season had 3 brand new weapons: a dual SMG, a shotgun, and a moddable burst AR. One of these weapons are obsolete, and 2 of these weapons are so powerful it's actually frustrating. The dual SMG from green and above will take you from 200 to 0 incredibly quickly. It's incredibly fast time to shoot, and shooting 2 bullets at once. So what should be balanced at around 12 to 13 damage per bullet actually becomes 26 damage per bullet, meaning that you are basically getting killed in an incredibly fast manner. It's also so accurate, and it can hit you from a pretty decently long range to the point of being absolutely annoying to use because it feels kinda brain dead, and to go up against as it feels like there's barely anything you can do. The same thing goes with the burst AR. I have loved the burst AR since it was introduced in Chapter 1, but it did not need a buff by any standards. This thing will melt you. As long as the person is hitting headshots, you're dead. This also doesn't keep into account the SCAR, the Combat AR, and the Hyper SMG, which are all very incredibly accurate weapons, and are heavy spray weapons as well, meaning that all close range encounters, you might as well chuck away the shotgun and just use assault rifles and SMGs. But speaking about shotguns, they are entirely useless this season, and maybe one is mediocre. The hammer pump, due to how fast the SMGs shoot this season, you will deal about 100 damage and you will be dead, so you might as well not carry that. The new shotgun would have a chance if it would shoot somewhat faster, but it has the similar issue to the pump, meaning that you will die before you can deal enough damage to actually kill somebody. The only slightly worthwhile shotgun is the Gatekeeper shotgun, and that's for the main reason that it shoots decently fast, which again continues the massive spray and pray issue that this season is facing. So now, since we've covered the massive spray and pray issue, let's go over the superpowers and why they feel so unbelievably weak. In my absolute concern video for the season, I brought up how I was worried that the superpowers would take over the meta like the cars did. I was incorrect. They are so weak, they are an absolute joke. The brand new Doom gauntlets are just weak. I've used them once, and they basically do nothing. Anytime I see someone kill the Doom boss, they just ignore the gauntlets and just pick up the mythic pistol as it's much better, and the medallion. Then we have the Captain America shield, which is an overall weak weapon. And I'm willing to say it, the only reason this has any place in the meta is to block all these spray and pray weapons, which if you have to introduce something to stop you from instantly getting killed, you have an issue. You might as well just fix the problem instead of creating another weapon that only puts a band-aid on the problem. Then you have the War Machine stuff. I want to start off with the best one, being the jetpack. It might be simple, but it's an overall improvement from the original jetpack. And then you have the idiotic gauntlets and the auto turret for the War Machine. The gauntlets are legitimately the most broken thing and most brain-dead thing. They do not require you to aim. They are the literal embodiment of spray and pray, as you could just spam rockets with them without any consequence, that go at a decently long range and will slightly auto-lock to targets. And then you have the auto turret, which wouldn't be that bad, except with everything else being so spray and pray this season, it becomes another just annoyance that you can't really do anything against. So overall, it's just, all the powers are either so unbelievably weak, they're pointless to pick up, or just more guns on steroids. I'm also going to bring up the medallions in this section. So the 3 superhero bosses drop medallions, and they're kinda stupid as they don't tie to the heroes by any standards. You have an invisibility one that marks targets, and one that gives Siphon. I'm gonna tell you something, if one gives Siphon, they're just making it as a cop-out. We've already had that, and if it's known that Siphon is so loved, everyone will drop at a location just for a medallion of it, just bring back Siphon. While the other two are kind of mediocre, the invisibility might do something, but it isn't too good. And I would admit the Emma Frost thing is kind of fun to use if you're wanting high kill games. But since they don't match the superheroes by any standards, it's just annoying to use. I'm also going to bring up the lack of variety of superpowers this season. In the original Marvel season, for how much I didn't like it, there was a wide variety of superpowers to use, which encouraged multiple different playstyles. All the superpowers this season encourage one thing: getting up close and spraying and praying. Now, I understand that later this season, we might get a couple more superpowers, specifically with the Black Panther stuff and the Iron Man stuff, but I don't feel like that fixes the issue at the start of the season. So anyways, let's go on to the map changes. I feel like that the issue with the lack of variety would have been fixed under one thing. Just make Mysterio and Emma Frost drop their powers. That would have actually been interesting, and actually create for some cool gameplay scenarios, but nope, I guess that's too unique. So, yes. The map changes this season are one heck of a mixed bag. On one hand, you got amazing stuff like the raft, part of the unique location with a very unique theme. And then on the other hand, you have stuff like Doomstat and Doom's Court being some of the most boring, bare bones, cookie cutter locations I've ever seen. In fact, Doom's Court was so lazy, they copied and pasted the building from Classic Courts and just made it with a different decor set. Like, are we kidding here? Like, seriously? I will admit, Doom's Castle is somewhat interesting, but it's nothing special. I also want to bring up how bad the biome is this season. It's kind of a joke. It's just different colored grass. Half the landmarks are the exact same from the previous season. It has the same exact problem with the Olympia biome. I feel like it would have been better just not to do a biome this season instead of trying to shove one in that doesn't feel unique by any standards. We also have to look at how ugly this map looks like right now. I mean, just look at the picture of this. There's 10 different biomes on the island. There's just way too many colors. Your eyes have no idea where to go. It looks like an ugly mismatch of 50 different themes all in one island. So overall, I'm not very impressed with the map changes, and wish that they would just be more unique instead of what we actually ended up getting. For the final point I want to bring up before I go into the Battlepass giveaway is the incredible lack of movement this season. Ever since Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 1, movement for zero build players has been on top of the world. We've had stuff like the Shockwave Hammer, the Kinetic Blade, Rocket Ram, Grapple Blade, all stuff that were just fun and good for movement. This season is one of the worst things for movement I have ever seen. It feels slow to play. The only form of slight movement you got is the jetpack, and it doesn't really work that well. Now, you might respond to me by saying, well, the Iron Man stuff is meant to be the movement this season and it's coming in later. Except leakers are saying that's probably a week 4 or 5 edition. So it's too long to not have that at launch. There should have been some form of movement this season, even if it would have just been as simple as bringing back the web shooters. So I think the movement, on top of the very spraying playstyles, the weak powers, the mediocre map changes, are just all things that make this season, to me at least, boring and frustrating to play. So overall, I can't give this season anything more than a 4 out of 10, which I know might sound harsh, but I want this season to be great and feel like it can be great with future updates that fix a lot of the fundamental issues with this season. So let's see how it kind of plays out, but on to the Battle Pass giveaway. So the Battle Pass giveaway is simple. All that you have to do is comment Marvel and you'll be entered into the giveaway. After 24 hours, I will, in the pinned comment, announce who the winner is going to be. If you win, all that you're going to have to do is reply to that comment with your epic ID, and as soon as I can, I will gift you the Battle Pass. So anyways, that is it for the video. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell for daily content, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!